I was christened Charles Howard Sutcliffe in Hertfordshire, England in 1943. My boyhood years were spent alternating between our country home and our city home, and as I grew older I was sent to boarding schools like every good English lad, and saw my parents rarely. My father became more preoccupied with his business, Sutcliffe Enterprises, and emerged from his business only on bank holidays, not all of those at that. I progressed from a rather uneventful childhood to an even less eventful adolescence. I graduated from Oxford, with honors of course, took up my father's business when he was...
Stop!
What, I was wrong?
Can't be serious. This is straight from Goodbye, Mr. Chips. And you've left out the most important things. When was your first sexual encounter? Who was the alcoholic in your family? And how many epileptic cousins did you keep in the attic?
We did not keep epileptic cousins in the attic.
But you kept them somewhere. Come on, where was it? In the moat, behind the dungeons, under the outhouse.
Really? We had none of those things. Cousin Cedric was kept in a very good home near Shropshire. I'm told he liked it very much.
Now we're getting to the meat. How did Cousin Cedric relate to you? Was there any sibling rivalry? Did he love your sister? Did you have a sister? Was he your first sexual encounter?
Deirdre, my word! In the first place, I never met him. In the second place, my half-sister was married when I was 8. And in the third place, my first sexual encounter is none of your business.
Look, if you haven't had a sexual experience yet, don't be ashamed to admit it. More guys than you think are late bloomers.
Don't think that you can be coy with me, my dear girl. I have played it life just a little longer than you, and I am up on all the tricks. And if you're not careful, I'll prove to you that I'm no late bloomer.
Oh, don't throw your maturity up to me. I'm not impressed. And if you think you're frightening me with your threats of sexual prowess, well, guess again. Everybody knows Englishmen are cold fish in bed.
Well, if I had a little more time and a lot more interest, I would show you just how much you don't know. I've had enough fun and games for a while. If ever I go in for child molesting, I'll let you know.
I just want to see how your male superiority would react. I'll bet you've never been treated as a sex symbol before. Well, don't worry, it's not likely to happen again in your lifetime.
You think you are so damn sophisticated, and yet you act like a child. You are a wild, unkempt little urchin. Someone should tame you. No, but anyone stupid enough to waste his time would not even know where to begin.
Oh, you have cut me to the quick. Now the Charles Howard Sutcliffe, excuse me, but was that the third or the fourth, has called me, oh, dare I say, branded me a wild, unkempt little urchin. Stop me if I misquote you. I shall hang me head in shame. See it hanging? This is shame. This is real shame.
I laugh to think of you becoming famous. No director could put up with you. Well, the only way you could possibly make it would be to sleep with him.
What?
Oh, don't worry, I know you have too much integrity. Well, I don't fear for your integrity. If any director casts you, it's not because he's lonesome at night.
You really are a bastard. Just get out, okay?
Don't worry, I was leaving.
He'll be back. I bet you think you're actually madly in love with me. My real name isn't Deirdre Patrice Christophe. It's my stage name. Did you guess? My real name is Edith Simmons, and I'm from Modesto, California. Though I would deny both to the end. Well, knowing my theatrical bent, one might ask why I came to San Francisco instead of New York or LA to be discovered. And I would tell one that it is the small, intimate nightclubs that the talent scouts frequent. Then they fly to discover the
Pardon me.
What are you doing on here? You're not supposed to be on till later.
I had to get my saw.
You're using a saw to fix your motorcycle?
Look, lady, I don't tell you how to fix your plane. You don't tell me how to fix my
As
bike.
it happens, I'm not fixing my play. I'm performing my life.
Yeah, well, that's your problem, Toots. And I think you're forgetting whose cafe this is anyhow.
Well, this is my life, and if you're not careful, I'll just write you right out.
No favor.
Mine? Oh yeah. I have to admit that what will attract me to Charlie is his obvious snob appeal. I've always had a terrific impulse to take snobs down a few pegs. There he will be standing. Can we have the spot, please? Oh, standing. A distinguished English gentleman, a blue blood through and through. Impeccably attired in a black suit, generously starched linen shirt, black tie.
The necktie is blue, Peter. Dark blue.
I'm sorry. A dark blue tie and black Oxfords. The only bit of frivolity about him is the pink, not white carnation which he wears on his lapel. Despite the perpetual inclement weather of his country, he is of a dark complexion and consequently appears well-traveled, which he is. However, he has not lost any of his Englishman's air or accent, or if the truth be known, an Englishman's arrogance. Another of his country might confuse it with pride or love of the Queen, but it is arrogance, pure and simple.
I don't have to stay here and be insulted.
Oh, do you have better places to go for that?
Do you always run your love affairs with as much graciousness?
Well, it's part of my quaint, inconsistent nature. I make it a point never to be the same person more than once.
You know, you have a nasty habit of narrating life.
Well, someone has to. I don't think you realize that life is a hell of a lot harder than musical chairs. Well, for one thing, the ratio of chairs to people is a lot less. Though I grant you, the outcome is much the same.
What in blazes are you babbling about?
You know, your level of dialogue is not nearly up to mine. I think it's time to do the bed scene.
The bed scene?
Don't act so surprised. It's in your contract. Could somebody please pull on the bed?
We're doing a bed scene on stage?
Oh, don't tell me you're going to pull the
Frame.
Yeah, y'all in a frame.
I don't see any back here.
Well, can you look harder?
I don't see any.
I'm gonna have to put it on the table. Could you at least find something to prop it up with? Can you help me?
Yes.
Well, I guess I'll
Lovely.
They go all out here, don't they? Is that gonna work?
Well, we'll see.
Lights down, please.
Hey! What happened to the lights?
Can you please help?
How does this come on?
What's going on here? Hey, I run a clean establishment, I'll have you know. I don't want none of this hoity-toity. Now I want you out.
Did you say out?
We'll have them black out on the cafe.
You can't run a clean establishment.
Doesn't this seem the slightest bit contrived?
Contrive? No.
Deirdre, no one will believe that after our questionable acquaintance we would be here in bed together.
They don't have to believe it. It's happening. Here we are in bed together. You do grant me that, don't you? Here's the bed. Here we are. We're together. What more do you need?
But we have not built up a relationship.
Well, there's no time like the present, I always say. Well, actually, I've never said that before.
Deirdre, my point is that a relationship does not begin in bed.
You'd be surprised. I had this roommate who met all sorts of...
There is no reasoning with you.
This is my life, and if I want to start a relationship in bed, I will.
It's becoming habit with you, isn't it?
Well, with you, it looks like it's going to have to be. Go ahead. Tell me I'm adorable. Can't you at least use your imagination?
This may be your life, but it is my character, and I will choose my own words and actions.
But But nobody will believe a love affair that doesn't include a bed scene.
Deirdre, no one will believe this love affair with or without a bed scene. I personally do not believe it myself.
Why do you have to believe it? Why can't you just accept it? I don't think reality's all it's cracked up to be anyway.
Perhaps not, but it is there. It must be reckoned with.
See, I was hoping that I could have an intensely emotional first experience so that I could play a big dramatic scene here.
What?
Yeah. I could be describing my first time to you, but you wouldn't realize that what I was describing had just happened.
But nothing just happened.
Do you have to say it so loud? This is my moment of emotionally moving the audience with my touching candor as I describe something so private that each feels a sympathetic chord struck within. If you keep it down, maybe some of those in the back can still enjoy the drama. Losing one's virginity is a big loss, you know.
I believe in this case, losing one's sanity is a far greater loss. Oh, besides, if you were a virgin before this scene, your status is unchanged.
I'll bet you kiss and tell, too.
Couldn't we just have a pleasant chat over tea? My clothes are getting wrinkled.
You really know how to ruin the illusion, don't you? Go ahead, have tea. I'm gonna have a trauma. My first experience was both my best and my worst.
It's open. Come on, Hart.
I learned what being totally vulnerable was for the first time in my life.
It's dinner theater.
See, he was considerably older than I. Rather a foreboding person, at
Deirdre, will you
least to
please
me.
stop it?
Hart, it's so exciting.
I suppose it's unfair to compare it with Harlequin romances, and yet
You want something?
I'm not sure what I wanted or expected.
Just coffee.
But it was definitely not the feeling of anonymity.
Make it two.
See, maybe I look for too much
On second
reassurance.
thought, have you got any good herb tea?
He didn't realize it was my first
Yeah,
time.
Lipton.
And as soon as I had done it
I have coffee.
before, quite a few times
Oh, the
before.
cream. None of that Creora junk. Oh, sorry.
I talk experience, but that's all it is, talk. Of course, I was slightly flattered that he didn't realize.
Well, I did wonder when she yelled, "Quick, grab my nightgown so I can save it for my wedding night."
Charlie!
What work is this?
If I asked for all the nuts to come here work, I'd never have time to run this place.
I haven't even gotten to my finesse speech.
No finesse speech?
Yeah. You know, where I tell you how I expected
Yeah.
cannons and drums, and you vow to give me the 1812 overture.
Oh, my word. You expect people to be moved by that?
You got something better for them to be moved by.
Deirdre, people do not talk like that even in the movies.
Well, when I want a review of my life, I'll ask for it, okay?
Well, this is just a fleeting idea, but what if you tried being yourself?
I don't think I know who that is.